Of the 1991 Roof of Africa Rally, round number 7 of the Total GTE Championships. Repairs, food and sleep were priorities for the motorcyclists. Of the 73 who started yesterday morning, 32 had reached the overnight stop. The treacherous passes had obviously taken their toll, and riders were apprehensive about what to expect today.
I just had a problem with my bike. I blew a head gasket and I had to put water in. I stopped twice for water, but really coming home I just nursed it from the top of the bottom of the one pass rampart, which was just cruising home. I think the other are cruising as well behind me because they had the same problems. But it was a heavy day. I hope tomorrow we don't go near those passes again.
The dreaded Letsitele Pass was negotiated with relative ease by Jeremy Davies on his Truck Africa KTM.
Well, Letsitele was the first pass and that was really rough. All the bikes spoiled and overheated there. And we got to the top, we went with other rampires. Rampires wasn't too bad. Easier than Letsitele's, but a lot of work.
Errol Dalton didn't enjoy Letsitele too much either. The lethal rocks and steep incline making progress very slow.
I had an excellent run up Letsitele, no problems at all. I had a hell of a good day today.
Leading 200 rider Brian Bontekoning had an advantage up Letsitele in that his Winston Yamaha would have been considerably lighter than the 500s, favoured by some competitors. Despite that, the pass wasn't exactly a pleasure cruise for him. Even after the sunset in the Malutis, feverish activity continued in the pits. Many of the cars and motorcycles had suffered mechanical damage, and those who were able to worked on repairs. Today's leg of the event would be the equivalent length of a normal national, although conditions would be tougher. Both competitors and their machines would take some heavy punishment. Dinner time is when competitors congregate around the braai fires to compare notes and share post-mortems about the day's happenings. Today's racing section 2 would be 476 kilometers long for the two-wheelers and 453 for the cars. Exactly 64 competitors would be starting, 32 of each. The battle among the leading bikes was expected to be exciting, with the country's top talent bunched into the first 6 competitors off the start line. Arrested Jeremy Davies was the first to blast his Truck Africa KTM off into the hills.
Apparently the marking is not very good today, so I don't know what will happen. We'll either find our way or we're all going to get lost.
For Alfie Cox on his Fort Fire Kawasaki, the 7-minute 14-second gap between he and Davies meant some hard riding was necessary to close the gap. A pit talk for leading 500 rider Errol Dalton on his BP Huts diesel Kawasaki from manager Hilton Beattie. Dalton was in a healthy 3rd position.
Today's going to be a bit of a problem because there is gaps where there's no marking. They just told us to keep, to the river or whatever. So to give them, let them find a way. I think I'm in the right position, so maybe I can get to them.
No wonder Clark of the course, Peter Luck, looks bleary-eyed. It's 5:30 a.m., but it's never too early for Willie Island to give the crowd a show on his Super Tyres KTM. Countdown for riders leading at 10-second intervals. Amongst them Hilton Haywood on his Super Tyres KTM, John Hodgson on the Pelham Products KTM, and Frans Sepik Jr. on another 250 KTM. KTM rider Jeremy Davies shared a roof win with rival Alfie Cox 2 years ago. If he maintained his lead over Cox now, he might just scoop that solo victory. Cox was giving Davies a flat-out chase on the Fort Fire Kawasaki. With 3 roof wins already to his credit, achieving his 4th would make Cox's day. Errol Dalton wasn't slow either. His BP Huts diesel Kawasaki 500 had left the start line a mere 3 seconds after Cox. Poetry in motion from Willie Island on his Super Tyres KTM. Off-roaders must be suckers for punishment. Who else would enjoy travelling for miles over this kind of terrain? Brian Bontekoning found he and his Winston Yamaha had to proceed with caution down this boulder-strewn section of the route, which was about a third into the race and in the Sohong area. This Roof of Africa stuff is hard work. Behind Bontekoning, ever popular Kevin Tebbutt proceeded with just as much care on his Sun City Honda. This kind of terrain is all part of the challenge the event offers. Endurance is the name of the game. So are perseverance and tenacity. But when the going gets tough, even the tough can take a tumble, proving that despite being a veteran of the sport, anyone can make a mistake. The only privateer in the first 10 starters had been Billy Venter, who was running consistently on his Yamaha 250. Also making steady progress and riding consistently was John Hodgson on the Pelham Products KTM 250. Crowds waited for the first motorcyclist. Rain and hail in the mountains had slowed riders down by almost 2 hours. The first motorcycle appears, and it's Alfie Cox on the Ford Fire Kawasaki. Incredibly, this Peter Maritzburg rider has just won his 4th Roof of Africa. An ecstatic Hazel Cox hugs her husband.
I don't believe this, man.
Second man home on the Truck Africa KTM was a disappointed Jeremy Davies, who'd lost the lead after getting lost.
We've had a good go today.
It was a triumphant finish for former roof winner Willie Island, whose Super Tyres KTM reached the checkered flag less than 4 minutes after Davies.
We were in front today and there was just no markers. No, I'm telling you, we went for 2-3 kilometers, Jeremy and I, guessing, and we found markers. It's ridiculous, huh? You know, if a person throws a whole race away because the course is not marked properly, you know, I just feel for other people too, you know.